Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk about the complex plane. So the complex plane is how we plot complex numbers. So first, let's draw our axes. So in a typical plane, we'll have a y-axis that goes from top to bottom, like that. And we'll have an x-axis that goes from left to right. That would be our y-axis, and that would be our x-axis. Now for a complex plane and for complex numbers, it works a little bit differently. We don't really have an x and y axis, or that's at least not what we call them. The y-axis, actually, this is our imaginary axis. So imaginary axis. And this x-axis would actually be our real axis. So real axis. Okay, and then let's go ahead and start labeling it. So our real axis we would label the same way as we would with a regular plane. Let me just go ahead and move this. We'll just write down all our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Now our imaginary axis is going to work a little differently. Instead of marking the first one right here as 1, we are going to mark that as 1i, or just I. And instead of marking this as 2, we will mark this 2i. And we'll go in that order: 3i, 4i, 5i. And we'll go in reverse: -1i, or really just -i, -2i, -3i, -4i. That's enough. So let's go ahead and start plotting some complex numbers. Let's say we had a complex number here, 3 plus 5i. And let me actually just use a different color for that. 3 plus 5i. So as you can see, it's already in a plus bi form. A plus bi form. And you want your complex numbers to be in a plus bi form because it makes them a lot easier to graph. Because all you have to do is take a look at the real part. So the real part is 3. So we're going to start at this 3 right here. So let's start at this 3 on the real axis. And then let's take a look at our imaginary part. So our imaginary part is this 5i. And where's 5i on our imaginary axis? It's up here. So in other words, to plot this, we're going to go 3 to the right on the real axis and up to 5i on the imaginary axis. So that is up here. And as you can see, if you drew some dotted lines, we would hit 5i on the imaginary axis, and we would hit 3 on the real axis. So this blue point that we have plotted right here, that represents the complex number 3 plus 5i. Perfect. So let's go through one more example. Let's say we had -4i minus 2. So again, you want to get this in a plus bi form. So let's make the -2 come first. So -2, and then -4i will come second. And there we go. That is in a plus bi form. And let's go ahead and plot it. So we'll start with the -2, the real part. So -2 is over here. And -4i. So -4i is down here. So we start at -2, and we're going to go down to 4i. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4i. And that is how we plot the complex number, -2 minus 4i. And there we go. So that's how the complex plane works, and that's how we use it to plot our complex numbers. And it's important to make sure that they're in a plus bi form, because that makes them a lot easier to plot on the graph, on the complex plane. So I hope this video helps, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.